Welcome back. This is episode 3 of Useless Knowledge. I'm Jay Scott.
This makes you right.
And we are here to bring you another movie based on the Halloween season. And this one's a good one because there's a lot of cool things that you didn't know about this movie that also involve another movie that you may or may not have seen, but you probably should have.
Should have for sure.
But first things first, roll the intro.
They're here.
All right, so if you ain't figured it out from the intro, yes, we are talking about Poltergeist. However, that's not the main movie we're talking about. We're actually talking about a movie called Insidious. Insidious is a great movie that is a huge hit, but did you know, probably unintentional, let's just go ahead and put that out there, that it's probably closely, if not birthed, from Poltergeist. You're like, what? What?
Everything circles back.
All right, so let's first talk about which one? Insidious? All right,
Let's go with that.
Insidious. Insidious is a movie about a family that moves into a house that has an evil presence that appears and goes after the young boy in the house, young child, because the spirit needs their body to basically exist
And get into the
the human
regular
realm.
human realm out of the further, because
Yeah.
it's stuck in the further.
So
So they spend 5 movies trying to figure
Yeah.
that out.
Oh, by the way, first one, fourth one, don't waste your time with the rest. And I haven't seen the Red Door.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Nothing's like the first
Yeah.
of a lot of horror movies, because it's always like a little bit less, because I don't know if you ever intend to do as
Well,
many
the more
sequels as
money
that,
they
but-
get, the worse they get. Just put it to you that
Yes,
way.
because budget $1.5 million.
You got to make it work.
Man, they did a great job, because this
Mhm.
does not feel like a cheap horror movie
Yeah.
at all. Good cast too.
The casting probably took up half the budget. That's probably why we got the Darth Maul.
Darth Maul demon.
Yeah.
We got Lee Wanell, who did what? Saw with
Mhm.
James Wan. James Wan did Conjuring with Patrick Wilson, and now you got Insidious. So that's 3 big franchises.
Yeah.
There.
Rose
They're
Byrne,
awesome.
she's more comedic, but this is one of her actual serious roles that she took on as as the mother from a horror film. Usually we know Rose Byrne in a lot of more of the comedy stuff, but
Well, you got the lovely Lynn Shay too, because she.
oh yes, yeah,
What happened to Mary or
with
Ben Stiller?
She's great. Something About Mary. Something About Mary. Yes. So we got the demon trying to, possess the little boy because they can have out-of-body experiences, and while he's out of his body, the demon can come in and take over his body. All right, so then we have, like you said, they bring in some specialists after they can't figure it out. The wife, the character played by Rose, is very adamant that something bad's going on. Of course, the father's kind of like iffy and has to be proven, some bad shit going on. So with that said,
It's always the dad.
Yeah. Yeah, the dad doesn't want to say like, no, this is real bullshit. Yeah. But me, I'm the opposite in my household. I'm like, you hear that? You hear it? Get it? I heard it. That's some bullshit. Get everybody. We out. But so anyway, the she comes in with her two guys that are the professionals to do a check of the home and find out that yeah, there's an evil presence. She's got some psychic abilities or paranormal abilities to psych things, and that's when everything just takes off from there. They have to send somebody into this other realm to retrieve the boy spirit, which happens to be the father, not the mother, because he has that same ability.
Just didn't know it. Yeah,
Yeah.
He said astral projecting. Yep.
So that's where that movie goes, and of course, they pulls him out, and everything has some twist at the end, and supposedly. But we're not going to talk about the ending because that's too much of a spoiler if you haven't seen the
Just the
movie.
relation to
Yes, we're just
Poltergeist. Yeah.
Now that we've caught you up on the Insidious plot, let's catch you up on Poltergeist 1982. Poltergeist 1982 was surrounded by a bunch of controversy because of all the stuff, things that everybody should probably know if you're a horror fan, which is was there real skeletons in the pool? The death of Heather O'Rourke from having issues, to the death of her older sister who got killed from a stalker or boyfriend. Was it? Was it boyfriend or boyfriend? That was boyfriend. The other girl from my sister, or whatever, that got killed. Yeah. But, all right. My sister Sam. She was shot by a stalker. Yeah. So the tons of controversy surrounded this thing, and they but what movie doesn't have it? I know the one I'm filming right now is cursed, I believe, but we'll get into that.
I don't want to watch a horror movie that doesn't have controversy.
Yes. Yep.
Adds to it.
So Poltergeist starts out with this family that moves into this new home, and then all of a sudden there is the little child, who starts to sense or speak to the spirits from another realm. And then all of a sudden the mom is aware, and it doesn't take as long, but the father, played by the great Craig T. Nelson, coach himself, doesn't really believe it until she slides across the kitchen floor in a Rams football helmet. And then he's confused and stuff, not knowing what's going on. Then all of a sudden the shit hits the fan, and
she's taken.
She's taken. Yes, she is.
It's the first Taken movie too, before Liam Neeson.
Yeah, of course.
Taken by ghostly spirits.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Taken, the other worlds.
Vengeful. He'll do anything at this point. He did that reboot of what was it?
That naked gun crap. Oh, come on, like Liam. Oh,
Liam. The first one was lame. Why were we making it?
Liam, come on. That's like, okay.
But did you know that sidebar that he's like falling in love with Miss Baywatch because she was in the movie.
They've already they've rebooted. That was a setup for no.
Pam Anderson.
Yeah.
I would have loved it for him though, because he lost his wife tragically to an accident.
I'm listening to Howard Stern today. He got the news and rebunked it because it was more of a publicity thing. So just to let you know, Howard Stern is the news to go to, because he's not going to bullshit you.
It didn't get me to watch the movie, so.
Oh. Well, I'm not going to watch it either.
2 minutes in, I was like, yeah.
Well, I digress. All right, so she's taken from her world into this other world, and then they bring in these specialists, the female and two guys, and the one that they bring in is, what is her name, actually? She's really good. I mean, Beatrice Straight. Yes, there you are. Dr. Lesh comes in with her two buddies, Pugsley and Ryan. Okay, so they come in, assess the house. Of course, they're like, yes, this place has definitely got some problems. Now, here's one. Let's start connecting the dots here. All right, so then they bring in a fourth Zelda.
Don't mind hanging back. You're jamming my frequencies.
For one who has all these powers, you know, run to the light. No, well, she says that
Go into the light.
over and
She's
over.
got a little southern accent too, which
Yeah.
I think kind of helps.
Yeah, my favorite line after she gets the child back, she says, like, you know,
This house is clean.
the house is clean. And then she does her hair.
The house is clean.
Yeah. So, but this is, then she comes in and they're able to pull, you know, the young child back. But just like Insidious, it doesn't end there. They're still coming after her. So here we go. All right. Parallels. Insidious. New home. Children besides the little baby. Got the other two kids. So there's three children. One's a baby. Then you got the one that gets abducted.
Simpkins.
Todd Simpkins. All right.
Ty Simpkins.
Ty Simpkins. Yeah, we're doing a little cheat sheet here. And then you got the older one that really isn't much. Yeah, kind of like Poltergeist. And then we have nobody, the boy sensing these spirits that nobody's really listening to him about. And they think he's just having bad dreams until he goes into a coma.
And doesn't wake up for 3 months.
Yep. And he's missing spiritually. All right. Same thing with Poltergeist. New house, family, 3 kids, young child. She ends up getting taken because nobody believes what she's doing. And then the TV people take her. And
She goes through the TV.
no, she don't. She goes through the closet.
I think she goes through the TV. Or she comes
No.
out of the TV. They communicate through the TV.
Whoa. Yeah, I don't know what he's been doing.
I've been
But
watching this movie in 35
yes,
years.
but Poltergeist, no. She communicates through a TV, which is something that y'all probably study in history class now, which is a console TV with a tube. And after all, around midnight, they would close off all the broadcasts with the national anthem or whatever it is, you know, and end it, and it goes to fuzz.
Yeah.
Fuzz.
They don't know what that is. Wall phones in it too.
Yeah.
House phones.
House phones, things that y'all still have no idea, but nowadays it just goes black.
Lots of formica and tile.
And so then, after she's abducted, they bring in the specialist, female, 2 guys to assist. Same thing in Insidious. After the boy doesn't wake up and realize that his spirit is not with him, they bring in the female and 2 specialists. All right, to stay overnight, by the way, in both movies. And then, only difference is there is no Zelda.
Kind of all in one. She plays 2
Right.
characters.
Yeah, Lynn's character, she plays the whole thing. She's like the Beatrice of Poltergeist as well as the Zelda of Poltergeist, all in one. I guess, you know, with $1 million, the budget runs short, so you got to just say, you know what, you're playing 2 characters.
Yeah, steal people.
Yeah. Now, you say, okay, coincidental, but here's the thing. There's some Easter eggs in this movie that a lot of people didn't realize. One of the Easter eggs, if you want to look, I'll throw it up here, is the stake crawling across the kitchen counter of Poltergeist right here. If you notice the tile, the kitchen and all that stuff, watch. Check this out. This is a scene of one of the guys in a kitchen after being up all night with his head. I think actually he got hit and he's in the kitchen, and he's got a steak on his head, laying on the kitchen counter with the exact same tile from Poltergeist. Look and see. You can see right there the Easter egg, if you want to call it, but homage, maybe, or just plain out oops. But the movie, you can look online all day, and people are constantly comparing uh, Insidious to Poltergeist 2, which is far, far less comparable than it would be to the first one. The first one, it's right there. I mean, you've got a child in peril, stuff like that. You got, the three investigators, fourth one in the pot, if you count Zelda, who was there for a little bit. And I mean, nothing worked. Then shit happened after thought they solved the problem. Then bad shit happened after that. Then you've got, well, you gotta, both of them have sequels that suck, and both of them have a third movie that really suck. And they stopped, thank God, with the Poltergeist, but Insidious kept on. But with the fourth Poltergeist or Insidious, it was actually good because they stepped away from that and went and dived into the research.
Oh, the wife?
No, the researchers past.
Oh, Lynch.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, that was a good.
Yeah. Insidious 4 actually was pretty good because they stepped away from the other plot and focused on Lynn Shays. Lynn Shays' character, and showed how she was introduced to everybody and what happened to her in her childhood.
It was almost just about her at that point. It was kind of like an offshoot of the other ones.
And it was good scares
She's
in it.
Great in it. Yeah.
I don't think I saw Darth Maul. Did you?
I don't recall Darth Maul.
I don't recall Darth Maul demon. No, I think it was
had her own.
Here's a comparison to the fourth one to the second Poltergeist. You ready? Mm-hmm. At the end of let's start off. At the beginning, the family has moved in with the grandmother in Poltergeist. The grandmother passes away, but because she knows that her daughter or her granddaughter, Heather Rourke's character, Carol Ann, because God knows they didn't say Carol Ann enough in the third movie.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
How's Carol Ann? Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
This is Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
Movie.
You always know that girl's name.
Yeah. So they, the grandmother passes, but they still feel her presence there. So the mother of the little girl that plays Lynn Shays' character, Elise, in the beginning of fourth, loses her mom. And surprise, surprise, at the very end of Poltergeist, who saves the family from being pulled into the other realm? The grandmother. Her spirit comes back. Same as Insidious 4, who saves her at the very end.
Very end, yeah.
Her mother comes back and helps her. Yeah, I actually just came up with that one. That's not too bad. So we get a lot of that. But that's what useless knowledge usually is. Stuff that is not going to do anything. And what I did not find anywhere was my comparison and connection of the steak, the guy, and the counter to Poltergeist.
That's probably been used in a lot of movies, I would say. Probably.
I don't think so. I think what I found was special.
No, I mean after Poltergeist, that some had probably had that.
No, I still think what I found is special. I don't think it's been used. I think it was.
You don't think so?
No, I think it's an
I
Easter
think
egg.
people ripped off Poltergeist a lot, though.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Not just in. Well, I won't say ripped off, but taking similar elements.
You seen Poltergeist? Poltergeist.
Poltergeist?
Yes, Poltergeist. The one with the killer turkey.
Like
Didn't you on to that stupid?
Yes, I have seen that. And loved it too. Killer turkeys.
Killer turkey.
You put any kind of animal in a movie. That's the 70s and 80s. Whenever this just either we have something small and we have a million of them.
No. This is more 90s. 90s was a gingerbread man, ice cream man.
I'm talking about the animal genre, the horror, or we have this animal that's just so overly big for no reason that we can't. Because what was the one with the rabbits?
Rabbits.
Yeah, it was the horror. It was like late 70s, early 80s, where it was just the rabbits killing everybody.
Well, I mean,
Then you had the bats.
Bats was good. They did this like throughout the 50s. You got spiders, Attack of the Giant Tarantulas. And
Yeah, but those were all just crappy puppets and stuff like that. They actually like filmed real animals.
Gator, crocodile, or whatever. Yeah, Gator.
Yes. The grizzly one.
Dude, I know you said watch Grizzly 2. Bro.
Man, that movie was great.
It was so, maybe I'm numb right now, but it was really, after the Charlie Sheen part, I kind of skipped out of it. It was like you said.
It wasn't so much of the content of the movie, but the story behind it that was interesting. Why it took like 40 years to finish.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that another time when I can actually.
But yeah, that's a hell of a casting by the casting director. Get those three. They're not in it much. It's a shame.
Hell, that's the first movie they've ever done.
You could literally have had them star through the thing, and it would have made that movie like after it would have got made quicker.
Well, he wouldn't have made no money until they hit it big. Did you watch the Charlie Sheen documentary?
I sure did.
Wasn't that good?
How's that man still alive?
I don't know.
Answer to me this. How in the hell the amount of crack and coke he's telling you? Like, I don't even know what I forget the size of the crack rock he referred to, and I'm like, that just has to be enough to kill somebody. Yeah. How is he alive? But I love his relationship with his dad, because this is Martin Sheen, the great Martin Sheen, who's a dad just trying to do something, to get his son. I loved it.
I like that. I like how they said, this is the crack dealer. He actually sitting there in his belly hanging out.
It's like he just has friends he just hangs out with. He's like, my crack dealer's my friend. And then all the wives, I'm like,
oh, the crackhead wife was bad.
God,
she still seems
so bad.
She still seems like she's on it.
Bad. She looked strung out in the thing.
Wouldn't stop shaking. Oh, the crack dealer. His rehab doctor called me and asked me if I could make the crack less potent. I was like, who does that?
I've even heard of that before, and it worked apparently.
Hey, can you at least make the crack less potent?
But
I would have been like,
something else.
I don't make no crack.
So he's 2.5.
Did you not think he looked like Corey Feldman in the thing?
That's why.
And then Corey Feldman came out with that nonsense.
I don't believe literally anything that comes out of Corey Feldman's mouth at this point, because it's so much outrageous shit. Because if you ask like Corey Haim's mom, she disputes that whole thing, and then there's a bunch of people dispute that they were even really that many friends. They just made a couple movies. Because then you got Haim being interviewed basically saying that, like, we did a couple movies, we weren't best friends. We did the show because we needed to work together, the two Coreys. But they're like, I think that might have been dramatized a little bit more, because as a public, we wanted that. I mean, probably like somewhere in the 80s or something, once their careers were taken off, that because it took long
before the crack.
Well, he was doing that all through his, poor Charlie Sheen, but Laura Dern and all them were taken off. It took a little longer for Clooney until maybe like ER or something. He was in Roseanne, but before he became like superstar.
You think it was that or Facts of Life?
Facts of Life.
Yeah, well, Little fact, George Clooney was in Return to Horror High, which makes me wonder, was there an original Horror High?
Oh, was he? Oh, the older one? I said, because his first big movie was From Dusk Till Dawn.
But also in, he did his Grizzly 2 before that, but we just found out he also did, was it Return? Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
Return of the Killer Tomatoes.
Wait a minute.
Fuck yes. Fucking love it. You're not going to get, it's a total turd.
Such a piece of steaming dog flop.
It's just is it unintentionally funny or intentionally funny?
Tomatoes into an
Probably is, because it's really bad. You know, they remade Toxic Avengers. Can we get a Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
I hate to say it, but I actually think they're talking about that.
I mean, just a unintentionally funny comedy horror movie where people are dying from attacking tomatoes.
I think besides George Clooney,
Not making it up.
It had a female lead that was really popular at the time. Let me check this out. Let's see. We can find.
This has nothing to do with Insidious or
yeah.
Poltergeist.
Yeah, we did.
We're just deep diving.
Rabbit hole. Oh my God! It had. Is that
John Aston?
Yeah, it was a New World picture. I miss New World. God dang, I miss New World. That was such a good company to pull stuff out. There was a female that they made a female out of the tomato, I believe, in that movie. There was a tomato that they turned into a female.
And let's not forget the stunning hell-spawned creation.
Karen Waldron. She was also in that movie, and she was in a few other things that were B-related, but still really good. And she's, I think, the one that got turned in from a tomato to a human. Yes. Yeah.
That was the sequel. They upped their game.
Yeah.
That screenplay was like exceptional.
Those movies back then, like, Trauma and all them, they had this tendency to overboard the grossness about it.
You went to it for the gore, because like with the Terrifier movies, there's no story.
We're not stalking the Terrifier movies just yet. I'm saving my entire arsenal for the Terrifiers on one of our other shows that we're going to do before Halloween, because I have a lot to unleash about Terrifiers.
But to the point, there is the genre. It's just gore.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't always gore. It had some gory stuff, but a lot of it was just like gross stuff.
Gory porn at that point. The Saws were like that. So the first Saw was inventive, had a twist at the end. Everybody loved it. Again, a no-budget horror movie, which I just love, that makes $100 million plus because it's got a good story behind it. Each sequel after that
more money, and
it just got more money and more gore, more devices, and it was just about watching them how they die. Same thing, Final Destination. Nobody can tell you outside the first one what the story was, because each one was just, even the reboot that they just did, how they did have a little bit more of a story in that one. They tried. It's just how these people are going to die it's gore porn at that point.
Lesson here is, after the first movie, once they throw a lot of money at them to make another one, don't expect it to be good.
If it's horror or gore porn.
And I got a lot to unleash on Terrifier about it.
Because the Conjurings, they did good. The last one, not the one that just came out, the last one.
I know we skipped off subject, but let's go ahead and talk about a few things here. So, Mitch, I'm saying Insidious is the Poltergeist of the modern day, and could be considered a reboot. So if you debunk that, I want you to go watch Poltergeist and then watch Insidious, and you tell me, is there more comparison or less comparison? And Darth Maul don't count.
The Darth Maul demon.
Yeah.
Darth Maul Demon.
Darth Maul Demon.
Well, it's a much more layered story. It's more complex than Poltergeist. They stepped it up. I mean, as far as
but see, sometimes the
Poltergeist was just like, we built this house on an old gravesite and we kind of didn't move the bodies, so it's all possessed and stuff.
Poltergeist is probably one of the most influential horror movies for me, besides the Halloween 4 movie, because I can put either one of those movies, and Poltergeist being one, and watch it, and just it's like being in the 80s and feeling it, and the way it's filmed, it doesn't constantly have to have a sound score behind every scene. It's just the natural sounds of them living, and it doesn't have this like, okay, the music's telling me what to happen. It has a nice softness about it, and and you can watch it all the time, and just the nostalgia about it just makes you feel good about it. Now here's some of the things about it. Did they have skeletons in the pool? It goes back and forth.
Real skeletons?
Yeah, they were.
Did they?
Well, here's the thing. They say, here's the story. First, that was all real skeletons. They didn't tell nobody. Then, after the telephone tag about it, they asked the director about it's prop skeletons. Then it comes back that nope, we accidentally had one real one.
I remember that part. Where's one real one?
Yeah, well, let me give you a little bit of hint. Well, no matter what it is, if you had one of your loved ones used in a movie like that, a lot would be paid out, a lot of attention would be drawn to it, and the person whose family member that belonged to would be more than happy to let you know. And
mortified.
Yes, but that never happened. So there were props. I think what happened is that to get a real scare out of her once she was in the water, they screamed, "Oh, by the way, those are real skeletons."
That would have worked.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. They just don't want to talk about it because the other story's better. But that's basically it. I mean, think about it. If somebody you said found out that your passed away grandmother is floating in a pool down here, just getting all torn up, you're gonna be pretty pissed off.
But would you argue that?
I don't know what the payoff is though.
That Insidious, yes, Poltergeist is very, very influential, but that Insidious is also, because, hear me out.
Okay.
Insidious got us off of what I was just talking about, the gore porn, because at that point we were having all the saws, just gore. Then you had Cabin Fever, gore. Hostel 1 and 2, just straight gross. That's all we were getting, and then people got tired of that, and then you came out with this, and then you kind of launched into a different genre. Everybody's sick of all that crap. Let's get more of a story, haunting, stuff like that. Then you were getting the Conjurings and Insidious, and what's the other one with Ethan Hawke?
Oh, you talking about the Black Phone?
No, that yes, but he did another one where haunted house with he was viewing the tape.
Oh, Sinister.
Oh, yes. Boy, I had to go to church after that one.
Yeah,
that thing was dark.
Yep.
And nasty. It was.
I admit, there's not a lot of movies that'll get a little scared. But here's the cool thing:
it's chilling.
You want to make a good horror movie? Don't do it in modern time. Do it back in somewhere like the times when they were bad and like
I mean, like different
70s.
Yeah.
So do a cool 80s. They've been doing that.
I think the 80s and 90s is what they're doing now, because the kids, like, their clothing's back to baggy clothes and all that. Like when we were in our.
That's what I watch. I watch the old ones that take place, like Black Phone takes place in the 70s, and it's great. Another movie that's a good throwback, takes place in like 98, is a movie that's coming out soon called Candy.
Yes.
Short plug.
We love our 90s movies.
Fingers crossed.
But I think it was very influential, though. It didn't break ground, but it did get us off of those that people were sick of, because I was sick of them at that point. You're just watching Hostel and they're chopping off
Yeah,
body
that's
parts that you should not mess around with, and at this point it gets you into, shifts things, thank God.
shock horror and real horror are two different things. Shock horror is a snuff film, and real horror is your movies like, Halloween 1. Halloween 1, huge success, huge, completely chain slasher, not gory at all. You got a clothes hanger to an eye, and you got a cut here, and you got a throat slice that you didn't see.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
Not gory.
You would think that would be gory, but guess what? It is not gory. You may see a bunch of bodies hanging everywhere.
Sequels after that, but not the original.
There's some stuff that's in it that makes you, get hanging from a meat hanger or something, but you don't see nothing. That's the thing. The less you see and the more that your mind plays tricks on you, the scarier it is, because you do not know what's going on.
It's the implications sometimes too. Remember the in Misery where Kathy Bates hobbles him, and she hits that first leg, and that thing just pops. I can't never watch that. I can't rewatch that movie ever. That's the first time I see that. And then she goes to do the second one. You don't see it, but it bothers you even more
because you saw the first one.
Right. You don't see it, and there's no blood.
Halloween 1, Halloween 2 came out, more gore, a lot of blood, and although I still say it's one of the great ones, just didn't have the same effect because, when you start taking people and they're watching something and the scene's coming up and it's got something going in it, a majority of people that have some type of humanity about them will turn away. And they, I can't watch this. And then by the time they look back, the scare's gone. So
it's the fear of what's about to happen.
All right, one guy that from the 70s that started a lot of the shock horror, as I call it, was Fulci. He did movies like Zombie, Holocaust kind of movies.
You couldn't even see those when we were kids. They're like they were banned.
He's famous for the stabbing eyeballs close up.
Yes. Oh God, yeah.
Like one of them where the
and just like hovering over it.
Yeah, and then just slow motion. She's to the
right
wood
into it,
panel, and you see your eye go in it. That's the kind of stuff that you're spending like a good 30 seconds building up as the eye's getting pushed closer to this thing. You're spending the time going, okay, I'm just not watching this.
The late 70s Italian horror scenes, early 80s, gross.
Yeah.
Just gross.
Yeah. Bright red blood too.
Man, it was so bright.
Very bright.
I don't remember how they made it back then.
Probably just red paint.
Yeah, it did just look like pastel paint. Yeah, it was gross.
Hey, go get me some more acrylic.
Because what were they? Then after that, what was it like? It was K-Rose syrup dyed that looked the same. I don't know what. They probably got something fancier now.
Well, then, you know what worked back in the day? Chocolate syrup. They used chocolate syrup for blood.
How the hell you gonna do that? This isn't the right color.
It's dark, and when you're having dark scenes and stuff like that, especially the old black and whites.
Oh, the black and whites, yeah. Hey, I'm all for that.
Return of the Living Dead.
Chocolate syrup. I'll drink the chocolate. Give me some Hershey's syrup.
We've actually used chocolate syrup for some of the scenes in Candy.
Old school ways still work.
Yep, better tasting and no CGI. It's better tasting and more realistic than bright red acrylic paint. So, anyway, we've gone off the rails this episode. Yeah, but we didn't want to give you a quick 5-minute thing. But yes, in all, in the useless knowledge category, I say Insidious, great movie, but very closely related to Poltergeist 1. I don't know about 2, but Poltergeist 1, definitely. I give it 4 out of 5 stars of being compared to it. Yes.
Should watch both. You should watch both because even though it's older and a lot of the younger people don't like going before they were like, everybody hits their movie fandom at some age, 12, 13, 15, whatever it is. Go before there's actually movies being made before you were born. So go back, because like as we watched things before we were born, or we were too little to see at the time and appreciated them. The effects may not be obviously as good. It will be dated. It is 40, 50 years old, but there's still something to take from it.
Yes, and
because it can be like a greater appreciation for newer ones as well, as if you actually make an effort to catch up on. Because we'll watch something we know, we're like, and it's new. We're like, we've already guessed what's happened. We know what's going to happen with this, but we'll still watch it.
5 minutes in, I'm already telling the wife or him, we're always like, that's killer. So easy now.
But you still can enjoy it, even though you're like, well, let's see,
Kind of like knowing the score of a football game and then going back and watching it later just to enjoy,
Yeah, you just bust through the commercials and see just the real game.
And also, in case you're kind of curious, it is a Steven Spielberg movie production. So there's a lot of doubt how much he's involved in it, but who cares? It says Steven Spielberg in the opening credits. That's enough for you to go see it. So, and if anybody says they don't know who Steven Spielberg is, dude,
I'm telling you, they will.
Who? Who? All right. But anyway, we hope you enjoyed this rant we went on. This was our episode 3. And we are planning on coming back. Sorry it took us a little bit to get this one out. We are stuck right now in the middle of filming, actually, like I said, a movie called Candy. Another plug.
He's busy. I'm not.
So next time we'll have episode 4. Mitch, I will do my best to watch the Grizzly 2.
Well, we don't have to do that. I want to talk about Near Dark.
Near Dark. Well, you know what?
You've seen that?
Yes, I have. You know what?
Near Dark.
Near Dark. I am going to
love it.
Yes, I am going to let him do Near Dark, and not let us, because
I can talk about that all day.
Yep. So that will be a good one, and so we'll have that ready for you. Until then, man.
See you later.
Check out those movies. Bye.
Carol Ann! Carol Ann!
Where was Carol Ann through all this?
Who, damn it, who?
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann? Carol Ann!
That's not Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Run, Carol Ann, run.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Oh, I can't deal with this anymore.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann. Carol Ann.
Say goodbye to Carol Ann for me.